Computer, yes. Okay, this is Wildcat Wine Club. This is episode 4. In this session, we are going to do a little show and tell. We're going to go down our lineup, and all of our club members are going to chat a little bit about the wine that they selected. All of the wine that is being featured today is a personal choice from all of our club members. The wineries that they're representing, they are actually affiliated with. So we're going to get to hear a little inside peek about Cave B, about Owen Roe, and about Patterson Cellars. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in and start with Mackenzie Boyce. So Mackenzie, jump in and tell us a little bit about what you're doing at Cave B and talk to us about the wine you selected today.
Alrighty, so I started in June, the middle of June, for to work at Cave B, and I basically got that job there because one of our what was it, student friends, classmates, was working there, and they needed extra help when phase 2 opened up after COVID. So she texted both me and Carly and said I needed help, and I thought it was a great opportunity to start my internship. I'm a tasting room attendant there. I run tastings with Carly, and I also do direct-to-consumer sales. It's not too hard of a job because you're just working with wine. There's no food involved or any of the extra stuff. It's all wine knowledge, which is really great and helpful for my learning experience. The wine I picked today is our Cave Woman White. It's known as our table wine. And it's really affordable. That's why I got it. It's the most affordable wine that we produce. Is $15 a bottle. And it's 50% Chardonnay and 50% Semillon. And the Chardonnay is actually unoaked to balance out the dryness of that Semillon, which I thought was very, very clever of our winemaker. And it's just really smooth and crisp and goes down well. But I have a little taste here. And it's a little more of a straw yellow. It's more towards the clear side than it is yellow. Can't really tell on camera, but I'm gonna give a good sniff. I get that nectarine in there, a little bit of tangerine as well, and then you get some citrus also, and some lemongrass towards the end. I'm gonna give a taste. It is more of a sweeter wine, I'll say that. It's not too dry.
Okay.
So that's my cup of tea. I don't like very dry wines. Me personally, Semillon's too dry for myself, so I thought it was awesome that he mixed the two varietals. But I get that honeydew on there from the Chardonnay. The nectarine I also get on the taste. Yeah, I don't know. I get that citrus also, and it's really balanced. I thought you did a great job with this, and I thought it would pair really well with like grilled or sautéed prawns.
Oh,
That
yeah.
sounded really good with it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
But yeah, I've really enjoyed my time there. I expect to work there next year as well during the summer and spring, and I'll be working there through November this year.
Nice. So tell us a little bit about Cave B because I know they're really close to the gorge, and I believe they have, do they have like cliff houses?
Yeah,
Can you
so
speak to that a little bit?
the owners of Cave B actually were the founders of the gorge. It wasn't an amphitheater when they made it though. They sold it, and then it became that huge amphitheater
Mhm.
destination for concerts and everything. They have the Cave B Inn and Spa, which is a place where you can rent rooms. They have yurts, condos, and cliff houses, and the cliff houses are beautiful there. They have a pool also, and you're able to walk through the vineyards. There's vineyards throughout the property itself, like next to the cliff houses and stuff. So it's not just like all in a different area. There's vineyard everywhere. But the Inn and Spa was sold about 3 years ago, so we aren't affiliated with them anymore, unfortunately. So there's no discounts that go through in between each other. But I think it was just too much for our owners to look after, so they decided to sell them both and keep the winery, and it's done really well since.
Nice. And then Carly is actually working there as well. So Carly, you can jump in and fill us in on your selection and tell us a little bit more about your experience at Cave B.
Yes, I am also working at Cave B with Kenzie. And then, like she stated earlier, our friend Jerissa, who is an alumni from the wine program, actually helped us get this job. She's a very dear friend to all of us. So it's really awesome to be able to just work with a strong group of women. And I
Nice.
really enjoy this job. It's definitely cool to see that too,
Mhm.
having all these women in the industry. I think it's really awesome, right? I love it. I love seeing
Yeah.
it. We're like a little girl gang there at Cave B. But yeah, so for my wine choice, I'm kind of a creature of habit. So I went with the 2018 Sauvignon Blanc.
Mhm.
This, alongside our dry rosé, are my two favorite wines that we have at Cave B.
Mhm.
This bottle runs for about $25, which is an amazing price. I think it's incredible how Freddie can make such amazing wine, who's our winemaker, but still sell it for an affordable price. I think that's really awesome, really great. But I will get into the tasting of it a little bit. The reason why I did choose this, like I said, creature of habit, but I also think this is a great summer wine because it has those tropical aromas. So there's going to be some mango, leche, and then some lemongrass in there too. And then I get some flavors and tastes of that mango again, some citrus, and I really enjoy it. I think it's a great crisp wine, especially straight out of the fridge, cold. It's just gonna really clench your palate, and yes, I enjoyed it very much.
Nice. So, when you are working at KB, I know concerts are going on at the Gorge right now, but if they were, are you guys close enough proximity that you would be able to hear the concerts or see them from even where you're at, from your vantage point?
Not see, but definitely here. There is a really amazing spot that you can actually go view the gorge at. That's
Mhm.
behind the Inn and Spa. But the people at the gorge are very, what is that? The security is very strict there during
Oh,
concerts.
sure.
So you can't go view it, but you can definitely hear them, which
Mhm.
is amazing. It's very cool, and it's a bummer we're not going to be able to experience that this summer. But if we carry on to next, you maybe at that point they'll be back up and running. But yeah.
Awesome. Any other little tidbits about Cave B you might want to tell any viewers?
Mm. Well, one thing that I think is really awesome about Cave B is we're 100% vineyard grown. So we're an
Nice.
estate winery, which, there's not many of those in Washington. So it's pretty cool to be able to say that and tell people that, all the grapes that are going into these wines are all estate grown. I think that's just really awesome, really awesome.
That is a really great point to bring up. So estate grown, yeah, as you mentioned, that means that all the grapes that go into those wines are made on that property. So grown on that property. So that is a fantastic thing to point out. So moving on down our lineup, Tyler, tell us what you have for us today. What are you going to be sharing?
Yeah, so today I'm going to be sharing the Ex Umbris wine, which is created under the brand Owen Roe.
Mhm,
I worked there from June 2019 to November of 2019.
mhm.
Uh, One thing that I like about Owen Roe is their labels. For the Ex Umbris itself, it's kind of like a simplistic label.
Yeah,
For
I like
my
it.
from my understanding, when they first made Ex Umbris, there was a forest fire, and that kind of caused the grapes to have a smoky flavor to it, and they weren't expecting sales to be as great as they were, but people loved it and they stuck with the label and they kept it the same way. Uh, so to jump into the tasting,
Yeah.
right off the bat, I'm getting dark berries, a little bit tobacco, some smokiness, maybe some leather to it.
Nice.
Yeah. And then on the palate, getting some mild tannins, good tannins. Uh, the color of it is more of an inky color.
Pretty.
And then on the palate, I'm getting again dark berries, some black currant, maybe some raspberry, and then along with pepper.
So some classic Syrah notes, sounds
Yes.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, Owen Roe creates great wines. I picked Ex Umbris up specifically because it's one that I was able to find at Total Wine and More for $22.
Nice. So just to be clear, the winery itself, can you tell us where it's located?
Yeah, so it's located past Yakima, I believe Union Gap or Wapato. It's right past Travari,
Okay.
but it has gorgeous views of the mountains. I believe Mount Baker, Mount Hood. My geography is not getting to me, but it has
Baker's
gorgeous
this way,
views of the
Hood's
whole
that
mountain.
way. Yeah.
Whichever one's more south. But it
Gotcha.
has gorgeous views of the mountains on a clear day, and the location itself is so fun, and there's so many things for families to do there.
Awesome. So how far away would you say it is from campus?
Probably a 45 to 50-minute drive.
That sounds about right. So you're about 45, 50 minutes away if you want to actually visit the winery. But as you mentioned, a few of these selections are available on the west side as well.
Yes, I believe usually it's the Sinister Hand, the Abbot's Table, and the Exuberous.
Nice. And how much is the ex Imbris? Have you mentioned that?
Yes, I bought it for $22 at Total Wine.
Nice. Good
Yeah.
price. And then just real quick, I'm going to jump back to Carly. Carly, how long does it take you to get from campus to Cave B?
Yeah, so actually, it takes about 30 to 45 minutes,
Okay.
depending on how fast you drive. Uh, But
Yeah.
something else that's really cool and has been really convenient is me, Mackenzie, and then Mackenzie's roommate Alexa also just got hired on, and then we have another coworker named Maddie, and we all are in Ellensburg, so we just each take a day driving and just all carpool together, which is really nice.
That
Which
is really
yeah.
nice.
Hmm.
That's great. I love that. And really, I think where I was going with this, just kind of comparing locations, I mean, one thing I always point out is Central, our campus really is in the heart of wine country. I mean, we are 30 minutes from Cave B, we're 45 minutes from Owen Roe. These are really different areas too. I mean, Cave B, you're going up north, Owen Roe, you're going east, but we're really right in the middle of it. So, lots of opportunities for our students to get out there and find some employment in the wine business and just have just close proximity to it, which is really great. Tyler, any other details you want to share with us about your experience at Owen Roe or about their lineup of wines?
Yeah, so I worked in their tasting room with Curtis. We carpooled, same as
Mhm.
Carly and Mackenzie, but no, it was a great opportunity to learn more about the wine business. I had a great time there, loved my coworkers, and overall, it was good to see the wine business work directly in the wine business, wine
Yeah.
industry.
Yeah, get some hands-on learning experience, right?
Yes,
Can't beat that. Can't beat
honestly.
that. Yeah, it's good stuff. And Curtis, go ahead and jump in and fill us in on what you have to share today.
Hi, yeah. So I just got hired on as the tasting room manager at Patterson Cellars, their warehouse location. So we actually have four different locations. We have one in Leavenworth, one in Soto, we have two in Woodinville, one at the warehouse district, and then one in what's called the Hollywood Hills location, which it's right next to Sato Ste. Michelle, actually.
Yep.
So if you're going to make a day out of it, definitely stop by Patterson Cellars.
Mhm.
Um, our locations vary in not what they offer, but like the kind of aesthetic of them. So the Hollywood Hills location is going to be much more um, for me. It's a little like more like going out, like you're gonna go out, you're gonna have a glass of wine or a tasting or whatever and
Mhm.
chill, whereas the warehouse is gonna be much more like wine focused. So if you wanted to learn more about the wine is all made there, so you can take a tour of the winery and you can sit down and talk to me, and I can tell you about all I know about wine and things like that. But what I have for us today is actually our 2017 Ruby Port. So if you're not familiar with port,
Mhm.
it's a dessert wine, so it's going to be a little bit sweeter, a little bit higher alcohol. So this one's actually 18%. Most red wines go between 13 and 14 usually. And so yeah, we'll just get right into it. You can definitely smell. It smells hot, which is a wine term for high alcohol. You can
Yep.
definitely smell the alcohol on it because port is fortified with brandy. So we actually make the brandy in house as well,
Oh,
and then
cool.
fortify it with our own brandy.
Mhm.
Um, and to me, it smells like you took a prune and just squeezed it right into a glass and then just put brandy in it. So it smells fantastic. I actually want to get a cologne from this wine. I think it would be really funny.
Uh,
And the taste, again, it's a little bit sweeter, but it's perfect for an aperitif. You get that prunes, um, kind of like I think kind of pretty much just prune.
like a baked raisin kind of
Baked
thing.
raisin, yeah, like sun dried raisins or something like that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, so what's really cool about our port also is that if you go to a lot of Washington wineries, they'll make wine like port style.
Yes.
So they'll fortify it with brandy. They'll use some other grape. I think it's usually like Syrah or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they make it port style. But we actually use Portugal varietals. So Triga Nacional, Tinto Cao, and Sauza.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ever go to Portugal and get traditional port, that it'll always be those three grapes. So I think is super fascinating. And this bottle it's a little bit smaller, but it runs for $45 because it's a little bit harder to make than a typical wine, just because you have to make the brandy and then higher alcohol. So yeah, I would definitely have this as like an aperitif, something
Okay.
right after dinner to kind of wash the palate away, going to sleep. And honestly, about this much is perfect. You don't want to drink a whole glass because again, really higher alcohol
Mhm.
than most, and it is a little bit sweeter. So yeah.
Nice. And so you mentioned the bottle is a little smaller. So is it not a standard 750? Is it like a 500 ml or a 375?
I believe it's 375,
The split?
500,
500. Okay.
500.
Yeah, so it's a little bit smaller than your standard bottle size. And just to kind of recap, traditional port is made in Portugal from indigenous grapes. And it sounds like what you're telling me, and just to kind of clarify for anyone that's listening, those grape varietals are being grown domestically, and that's what Patterson Cellars is utilizing. So not
Yes.
taking anything
Yeah,
from
we don't actually take the grapes from Portugal
from
and fly them over, but it is like it's like growing Bordeaux grapes in Washington. That same kind of thing.
Absolutely. Just clarifying there in case anyone's watching who is unfamiliar with that. Awesome. Anything else you want to mention about Patterson Cellars?
Yeah, our wine is fantastic. I would definitely, if you're into bubbles, our sparkling wines are super good. We have a sparkling rosé of Pinot Noir, and we have a sparkling Chardonnay. And what's really cool about that is most sparkling wine is a combination of those two, if not something else, but usually a combination of Chardonnay and Pinot. But we have a little solo venture from each of them. So if you wanted to taste sparkling Pinot Noir, which is super delicious, I almost always end up drinking the entire bottle on accident just because I can never put it away.
On
So
accident.
definitely come by. We're doing a sampler actually right now where you can get a half glass of both of our sparkling wines for $12, which is a pretty good deal. So if you wanted to do a little sparkling taster, you can come over our way.
Awesome. It's really good info. How are you guys all doing? I want to kind of just check in with you guys. COVID restrictions. Are you doing okay with that? Everything's coming along. I know there was some recent changes to the restrictions for
Yeah, so
indoor and outdoor seating.
we actually have a restaurant license at all four of our locations. So if you live together, you can come in and sit inside. And we all of our locations also have outdoor seating. So we're taking extreme measures to make sure to sanitize the tables
Mhm.
and do whatever makes everyone comfortable. So yeah,
Excellent.
we take reservations 24 hours in advance, but they're not necessary. You can come in if usually there's a spot available.
Awesome. I just wanted to check in on that. And then Mackenzie and Carly, how are you guys doing over at Cave B? You guys are in Eastern Washington, so outside seating is a lot easier for those people that are over on the west side where it's a little rainy sometimes. You guys have better weather for it. But how's things going over there with COVID?
You go first, Carly.
Hey, yeah, it's been all right, at first when we had that new was it a law or an order or that new order
It was a
passed?
new order and it just went into effect on, I
Yeah.
think, the last day of July. So like July
Yeah.
It was like
31st.
30th or
So
something.
we
30th.
were, no one really knew it was kind of going on, but it ended up, working out because it didn't affect us. It's only people who are serving alcohol inside the tasting room, and
Mhm.
our tastings are done outside. And then if people are going to do a glass pour or try or sample one of our wines or purchase bottle, etc., they just are asked to step outside and drink outside. We just aren't like allowing masks to be taken off inside our tasting room. And so we've been doing pretty good. It was kind of funny. We were first thinking of like pushing our bar up to the door and doing like a drive, not a drive by, but I don't know, what's that called?
like curbside or something.
Curbside, basically, yeah, kind of by the front door, but we didn't end up having to, which has been, nice. And it's nice to be able to do the same thing that we've been doing.
Absolutely. I'm really glad to hear that you guys are able to navigate it okay. Mackenzie, was there anything you wanted to add about COVID at Cave B?
I thought everything that she said was like
You got it?
spot on. Yeah, I mean, it's just the only difference, but from when I started working there, is that we've been super what's the word? Just someone that doesn't have a mask on, we don't let them inside, basically. Like
Yeah.
it's like, if you
You have
want
to
to come buy
enforce it.
something, you have to wear a mask, and if they don't have one, we have them. So they really have no excuse because sometimes they'll like try to fight with us on it, saying I don't want to wear one. It's like, I'm sorry, this is health code. We can't, But other than that, it's been pretty easy.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, it can be a touchy issue, but as you mentioned, it's health code, it's mandatory. So, yeah, best to support small businesses and just put the mask on, right? Um, yeah, so I was going to jump in here and just share a little bit with the audience about what I have discovered lately. So currently I am drinking Browne Grenache Rosé. So Browne Winery is over in Walla Walla. They have a tasting room out there. And the big thing that I wanted to share was this is an accessory that I recently purchased, Vin Glacé. I guess is how you pronounce it. It's got a little phonetic spelling right there. So this is an insulated wine tumbler. And the reason this caught my attention was because it's actually glass. It's not stainless steel or aluminum. I personally don't really like to drink wine out of aluminum. I have and I can, and circumstances are what they are sometimes. But if I have the opportunity to drink out of glass, I am even more excited about that. So this is a fun little tumbler. It does come with a little lid, so you can take it camping. It's sturdy. It's glass that is wrapped and insulated in stainless steel, and then it has a little coating on it, so it stays really nice and cold. So I am excited to take this camping this weekend and be able to drink my wine out of a glass on a campsite.
And it's very cute.
And it's kind of cute. There's a couple different colors that it comes in. I just went with the navy, but yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. So stainless steel outside, glass inside, no more metallic taste.
There you go.
Yeah, and I ordered it right from the website. I think they have them on Amazon as well, but
How much was it?
it was $34.99. There was a $5 coupon or promo code, I should say, that I found, and that $5 promo code really just covered shipping. So all in all, it stayed at about $35. So it was kind of spendy for just one glass, but for me, it's an investment, and I like wine stuff, so I was able to justify it. No big deal. But I'm pretty happy with it. So this is probably all my girlfriends that know me, this is probably what you're going to get for Christmas or your birthday. So this is my new go-to wine gift, wine accessory gift.
Cool.
So last thing I was going to mention is just a couple notes about our program out at Central. So we offer a 4-year degree in wine studies. We offer a Bachelor of Science. Within that Bachelor of Science, there are 2 specializations that we offer. One is in wine industry management, and the other specialization is in global wine trade. In addition to that, we actually just put forward 2 new certificate offerings that I'm very excited to share. One is a certificate in tasting room management, and the other certificate is in winery event design. So these were just authorized, and they are available as of fall 2020. Each certificate is 4 classes, 16 credits. So they are currently offered to our matriculated students. Ideally, in the future, I would like to make these offerings available to through continuing education too, so that people who are actively involved in the wine industry can have access to these certificates as well. So just wanted to throw that little program update out there because I'm very excited about it. It was about a 2-year process to bring these certificates to life. So we're moving in a little broader direction. We're kind of opening up our offerings over at CWU. So excited to share that. Before we close out this session, is there any last little comments that you guys want to make about your wineries or your experiences working for wineries?
Yeah, if you for the people that live in Ellensburg, if you're going to Central, the Leavenworth location is fairly new, opened within the last month or so, and we offer our Rosé of Cab Franc wine slushies. So if you're looking for a wine
Ooh.
slushie, you can go over there and have a frozen rosé.
I might do that, Curtis. Actually, I'm gonna go camping
My mom
in
just
that
went and
area.
she said it's very good. So
Yeah, I'll be in that area shortly, so I might have to swing by Leavenworth and grab a. Did you say Rosé of Cab Franc?
yeah.
That's kind of fun. I'd be
Mhm.
up for that. Anybody else want to throw in any little last comments?
We're open Monday through Sunday, but Fridays through Sunday, 12 to 5, we're doing tastings. Reservation really preferred, so we can get you in for sure. You can email at kb or events@kb.com. And yeah.
Awesome. So Cave B, Owen Roe, Patterson, these are all wineries that we have had our students work at, and they've had great experiences. So it was great to be able to devote an entire episode of our Wildcat Wine Club to taking a look at where our students have been and looking at their selections. So we're going to close out this session, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for tuning in.